Mahek, and I'm a counselor, psychotherapist, and I have done my qualification from University of Aberdeen, person-centered counseling. The foundation of my approach is person-centered counseling, and I have moved forward from there. And then I've added emotional focused training and even IFS training in my toolkit.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you for sharing. What I can really hear there is you've grown and developed from that person-centered base and added lots of different ways of working into your toolkit, which is amazing. So thank you for agreeing to talk about our collaboration today.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, and I really feel supervision is that. And I know when we first met, that's how I hopefully describe supervision. It's a collaboration. It's two hearts, two minds coming together. So with that in mind, would you be able to share a little bit about your experience of our supervision together and just speak from the heart?
And so I've really had a good journey of our collaboration together, and it was almost a year of, a relation. And it was increase in just not a professional development, but also personal development and increase in self-awareness that has really helped me widen my perspective with clients in my personal life, everything. And it's been really empathetic and warm. I know what issues I came up with. It was really held also very naturally and very comfortably. So felt very secure and safe to share whatever I want to share.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. So such a positive experience then I can hear being held personally and professionally. It's supported both aspects of your development. And you sound like you've felt held, heard, supported to bring all of those things to supervision, things about yourself and your development. Yeah.
Yes.
Anything else that goes through your mind when you hear that back?
I actually agree with the way you said. It's been a good experience in the sense that I didn't have to think twice whether I can bring this in supervision or not. Like usually I would that, okay, is it for supervision? Is it for therapy? Is it for something else? But then I'm like, okay, let me just, talk it out and I'll see where that goes. I never had to think twice if I can bring this to supervision or not, which was a good thing for me.
Wow, that's so valuable, isn't it? The fact that you can bring the whole of you into the space. That's what I'm really hearing there. And not thinking or not overthinking in your mind, can I bring this? Can I not bring this? Just trusting that you can, and we'll figure it out together. Is that right?
Yes,
Yeah.
true.
Amazing, wonderful. So if we shift forward then in our thinking and we start to think about the ways in which you've maybe shifted or you've grown through our work together, what goes through your mind when I invite you to think about that question?
So with what you're presenting issues I had come with, it was more of stuckness with the client, especially, and how to deal with that, basically, how to cope with that, how to deal with that, how to tackle that. I can see the shift. I can see the perspective change that, like stuckness can be in so many forms, and it could also be the client stuckness. And basically, even like increasing my self-awareness that how being aware of my stuckness can actually help with my clients to figure out how they can, move along or stay with their stuckness. So I think that was a major shift I noticed, at least myself.
Yeah, that's huge. And if I'm reflecting on some of our supervision conversations, that key theme at times, like feeling stuck and not knowing how to move forward with clients. But actually, what I'm hearing there is increasing your self-awareness around your stuff and your stuckness.
Yes.
And kind of untangling that so you could then come back to work with your clients and move forward.
Yes, definitely. So it didn't only help me in my professional life with my clients, but it also helped me in my personal life and how to cope with stuckness and ways I can do that. And that was really helpful.
Yeah, wow. So that dual impact then,
Yeah.
supporting you with your professional life and your client work, but then supporting you with your personal life and moving forward personally too.
Yes.
Yeah, amazing. Are there any other examples when you think back to our supervision sessions of how our work together shaped your client work or supported you with any challenges?
So one more thing which actually kind of helped is like exploring. So how to deepen the conversation or how to go forward with that conversation. So that was really helpful. Like what I received, in this supervisory relationship, how I received it, I could mirror that with my clients and in my client session. So how, it was held and how it was said, how it was expressed, because I struggled with sometimes expressing or being congruent. So I think it was helpful in that area for sure, that how I can express, how can I be congruent, how I can express empathy in words, how I can deepen and explore further from what's given to me.
Wow. Thank you for bringing that into our conversation. So there's something so powerful there about your experience of our collaboration and how maybe I facilitated that deeper exploration with you,
Yeah.
how I showed empathy with you, how I showed congruence in our space. You could then almost take that and learn from that and mirror that, apply that to your client work. Is that right?
Yes, yes.
Huge. Yeah.
It is because sometimes it's just like as therapist and as maybe recently qualified therapist, when I started with you, it's almost like you have a lot of doubts on how to say, what to say. Is it the right way? Am I being perfect? So you have a lot of thoughts there, and just that guidance on there are so many possibilities, and this could be one is really helpful for a recent and qualified therapist.
Yeah. Absolutely, those doubts are so natural. I always think at any stage of our career, whether we've been doing this for 1 month, 1 year, 10 years, 20 years, we're human, so we will have those doubts that creep in sometimes. But it sounds like what you're saying is our space together supported you to reduce those doubts, to reduce that overthinking, and to kind of find your, I want to say, authentic way of working, increase your confidence in that,
Yeah.
as well as open up options for what are the ways you could work with the client, not just be kind of like there's this way, there's this way, there's like many.
Many, yeah.
Yeah. Are those two things kind of what you're saying?
Yes, that's exactly what I meant.
Amazing. And then kind of on that topic, if we follow that thought for a moment, you were talking about the ways in which supervisions helped your confidence and to reduce that self-doubt and your confidence as a practitioner. Can you say a bit more about that?
So as a person itself, like, I do struggle with self-doubt. And again, to repeat, like where I started from, I was a recently qualified therapist. So I had a lot of doubts, like, okay, now placement is over, training is over, there's no safety net as such. So there was lack of confidence because lack of experience, which is normal. And, combined with my self-doubt, am I doing the right thing? Am I saying the right thing? Am I saying it in the right way? Am I helping the client? Am I even being any good to the client? All these doubts about myself, about how I'm with the client in the session, like all those were taken very naturally and very easily. I felt reassured. I felt validated, with the work I'm doing. Like it's okay to have these doubts. We can figure out different ways. That kind of gave me confidence that, okay, now I know. So that knowledge is there. I can just use it. So that unknown factor, which kind of gave me that self-doubt, I think that was reduced very much with the supervision we had, giving possibilities, giving options, like how to kind of reduce my self-doubt from changing unknown to known. Something of that transition kind of helped to reduce my self-doubt. And
Yeah.
that eventually kind of it did make me more confident than before that, yes, okay, so now I know how to deal with this. Like now I know how to deal with stuckness. I didn't know before any better. I just knew, okay, let's sit in stuckness. But now I know that, okay, so how I can use that now. So I know different ways also how to deal with it.
Yeah, wow. So supervision's really helped you to reduce that doubt. It's increased that reassurance in yourself. It's given you validation. It's increased your confidence. So it's also opened up different possibilities, different opportunities in terms of ways of working with the client and increased your knowledge as well, you said.
Knowledge, yes.
And do you want to say a little bit more about that increase in knowledge?
It's like increase in knowledge, it's not just theoretical. When you are sitting with the client, theories, do not matter after a point. As a relationship, it's how receive what the client says, reflect back what the client says, how you bring yourself out. I think that knowledge on how I could be me or how I could express more in different ways I think that definitely increased that, okay, I could do this, I could also do this, and I could also do this, rather than very theoretical knowledge, a very practical way of expressing increase. Like, for example, the exercises, we used to do that, to take few minutes and write down that in this possible scenario, what could we do? And I only used to come up with different solutions, even though I was the one stuck. I could come up with different solutions, and then you're suggesting that, yeah, these solutions are good. Also, what do you think about, solution D, E, like, so giving me options. So now I just don't have what I offered. I also have the extra two or three which was offered by you. So I think that kind of filled my toolkit. So, okay, these are the ways I can go about.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that real life example of how we worked.
Mhm.
It's kind of moving away from that stuckness and towards that increase in confidence in the way of working with your clients, and also supporting that increase in your own growth, your own learning, your own knowledge, tools in your toolkit, techniques, styles, ways of
Yeah.
working with your clients. Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
thank you for sharing that. Amazing. Yeah. And can you speak a bit more on what made you feel safe to explore either difficult topics in supervision, or what made you feel safe to kind of explore together?
I think right from the beginning, it's like when you said you can even bring yourself, I think that kind of broke the ice and broke the barrier that it's okay. Like, even if it's my personal life, I can bring, and if I can bring that into a supervisory session, because usually it becomes very client focused. But then just knowing that I could bring that kind of broke the barrier. And I'm like, okay, I feel safe enough now to share, since now I have shared about my personal life, how that's impacting my client, or even when it's not impacting my client, how I'm just being impacted in general as a human. So I think that made me feel more safe. It was not like, okay, I can't say these things. So that thought that there's no rejection anywhere made me feel safe. Yes, I can bring my whole essence.
Wow, I'm so passionate about that because I always say we're human first, therapist second. Human first with all of our nuances and stuff that we bring into the room and we bring into the space. And then therapist second, the
Mhm.
fact that you felt kind of held and safe enough to show
Mhm.
up in supervision, bringing your whole self, that's amazing. And
Yeah.
also, what I'm hearing there is we created space in our supervision sessions to check in on you, to check in on how you were doing, your self care, and making sure that you were okay,
Mhm.
which is absolutely essential because I'm also thinking practically linking that back to the BACP. That's in our
Mhm.
ethical framework, making sure we're taking care of ourselves and making sure we're well enough to practice. But then
Mhm.
also linking back to what that gave you. It sounds like that had a deeper impact on supporting you to feel safe to then explore challenges with clients, to explore some of the harder stuff, to explore
Mhm.
and show up real and authentically you.
Mhm. Yes, definitely. So that really helped me to even feel safe sharing, because with the amount of self-doubt I came in, it's like I am judging myself over there. Like, I said this wrong. I shouldn't have said this. I should have said something else. And, just even then sharing that, okay, I couldn't say anything here, or I was just feeling stuck. That became more easier because it's like I could share what's happening with me outside of that whole client session. So that was kind of helpful, that yes, now I'm feeling that with my clients also. I'm stuck, or I don't know how to respond, or I don't know the right way. So I think that kind of helped me also, because now that I know, it's fine to share.
Yeah, it sounds really freeing the fact that
Mhm.
you knew I knew because you'd
Mhm.
been courageous to share because we'd created a safe space together. That
Yes.
really supported your client work.
Mhm. Yes. That helped to build that relation also, that, okay, I can just come in and I can share.
Yeah, absolutely. Amazing. Circling back to our relationship together and our collaboration and supervision, how would you describe the supervision relationship that we created together?
So safe, definitely. If I had to literally give words, I would say definitely safe, warm, and even open. I felt like things were very like out there. I didn't need to mask, I didn't need to hide certain information of client, or how what I did or what I couldn't do with the client. It was just out in the open, whether it be what I was, happy about, or whether it be where I was feeling I need to improve on. So if I have to give words, definitely safe, warm, and open.
Wow, beautiful words. Safe, warm, and open. Yeah. And that's what I would always aim to create.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you've experienced that.
Yes.
Wow. So what aspects of kind of my style or supervision style have been most helpful to you personally or professionally?
So, as I mentioned, one example before is that whenever I feel stuck, it's the task, which gives like, I know I'm person centered, so I don't follow the task, but in a way, it is person centered because, just asking me, okay, what are the possible ways, we can deal with this? So, giving task, or even I remember one of the activities or task we did was a decision making task. Like, okay, so I can see there are many options. And what would the three significant people say in your life? So I think that was also like an eye opener for me that, okay, and not in my professional life, it can help me in my personal life also. So it was eye opener. So this is a very unique thing I at least admired and learned. And I was even like, telling my friends about this and, helping them make decisions. So I know how I've used those in my personal lives. And I used to really take back a lot from those tasks.
Wow. So
Mhm.
actually, some of the exercises we did in
Yes.
supervision to
Yes.
help you get unstuck have
Mhm.
really supported you in your own personal life, and you've
Mhm.
been able to share those with your counsellor friends. That's amazing.
And I didn't feel it that directive at all that, you need to do this, you need to do that. It was more of what I am coming up with. It's just prompting a question, what do you think about this? And then exploring from there. So didn't feel it was directive or anything at all. Like coming from a very person-centered approach, I really thought it was very, very much person-oriented.
Yes, yeah. So unique to you, unique
Mm-hmm.
to what you needed, and it sounds as though it supported your professional decision making, supported your
Yes.
confidence in making a decision as a professional in your own right. Amazing. So, how have you experienced me as a person throughout our work together?
I think I've also told this before, but very warm. Like it's just hearing you in itself feel very warm and comforting. Like it's a very nurturing feeling. Like, okay, everything's going to be okay. Kind of. So I experience you like that, definitely. Everything is fine. Everything is okay. It like calms my nervousness. So definitely I've experienced, and that is literally from day one. And I remember I've told you that before. So yeah.
I remember you've shared that all the way through, that kind of my calmness supports your nervousness, helps you feel
Yes.
calmer. Yeah.
Definitely, I feel more grounded after having the supervision meeting, after talking it out with you. I feel more grounded and calm.
More grounded, more calm. And I can hear that you really experienced me as warm and nurturing and
Mhm.
comforting and supported you to feel, again, like held and seen. And also that increase in confidence. You said, like, everything's going to be okay. You left
Yes,
supervision knowing, okay, I can do this. Everything's going to
yes,
be okay.
yes.
Yeah.
So pretty much very motivating also, like very motivating. And it's like a mentor and like compassionate at the same time. So yeah.
So motivating and compassionate. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. So, are there any other ways now we've kind of opened up our conversation a bit? And sometimes when we get talking, I know all the ideas flow.
Mhm.
So, are there any other ways in which supervision and our collaboration has contributed to your personal growth or your professional growth that you haven't yet shared that feels important?
I think I've shared mostly everything, but
Yeah.
also like self-awareness. Like it's definitely increased my self-awareness of a lot of things, like what happens within the session. It also has helped me to maintain boundaries as a therapist. So I think that was one of the things I was struggling with also, apart from stuckness, was maintaining. It's like, first of all, knowing what therapist boundaries are. It's not necessarily which is defined in the training or in the books. It can be very minute thing, like client responses or replies to emails. And where's your boundary in that? So I think like those unsaid boundaries, to create an unsaid boundary also. So it's really helped me in identifying my own boundaries, what drains me, and also implementing it. It's really helped me. I have seen the difference. I still see the difference actually.
Yeah, wow. Those are huge, really significant things, actually. So we've already talked about how supervision reduced your self-doubt, increased your confidence, increased your professional decision making,
Yes.
increased your toolkit and ways of working, and supported you to develop as a counsellor. But then we're also talking about how that links to you personally, which supports your counselling work. We're mentioning here that increase in self-awareness around yourself and self-awareness. Also
Yes.
thinking about maintaining and implementing boundaries. So not just kind of textbook and what you learn at uni, it's kind of how does that translate into the real counselling world?
Yes, definitely. And that was a real eye opener for me too. And I'm glad actually, like, I experienced this situation. So I know, like, how important boundaries are. So, yeah, I mean, definitely boundaries is another thing.
Yeah, amazing. So for me, boundaries not only support ourselves and our self-care and the energy we have to support and show up for our
Mm.
clients, but they also keep our clients safe. They're
Yes,
for our clients. Yeah,
yes,
amazing.
yes.
So in the essence of our conversation today, and we're celebrating our collaboration and we're celebrating your growth and development as a counsellor, is there anything else in your heart or on your mind that you'd like to voice into the space?
I'm just very grateful to have this opportunity with you and to really, really learn a lot from you in that this whole year that we have worked together. So I really appreciate and I'm really grateful for the whole journey and relationship.
Oh, wow. Thank you for sharing that with me. Yeah, me too. I'm so grateful that you would trust me and that you would lean in and that we could collaborate and to hear the impact on you
Mhm.
personally and professionally. And I know the ripple effect that that'll continue to have in the good that you do in the world. It's such a privilege to be a part of your journey. So thank you as well. Yeah.
That's good to hear too, actually. Yeah.
What's it like to hear that back? What goes through your mind?
It feels like, because I know it was a supervisory relationship where I know I was at the benefiting end, like, it was needed. But then when the relationship becomes two-way, so just hearing it like, okay, you've also felt something similar. So it feels nice to hear that it was more open, more natural, and a lot of learning.
Wow. So, with that in mind, what would you say to another counsellor, another therapist who's considering working with me in supervision? What words would you want them to hear?
I would just say that you don't need to worry about anything. You are in safe hands and you can bring any part of you into the session. You do not need to worry about any rejection or any judgments.
Wow, so important. So, let go of those worries. You can bring the whole of you.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, amazing. So, it sounds like what you were saying is you'd absolutely recommend working with.
Yes, definitely. I would definitely recommend working with you. Yes.
So thank you so, so much for making space today to talk about your journey and our journey together. I'm really grateful for your time and our work together. So thank you so much.
I really wanted to share this experience, like, because I know, like, what it's meant to me, how it's helped me, and how I have felt with the work together. So I really wanted this time to actually share this experience.
And thank you so much. How are you feeling now at the
Mm.
end of our conversation today?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling grateful. And it has reminded me a lot of our journey again and a lot of learnings. I feel good.
Amazing. Yeah. And I really invite you to be proud of yourself. Like this career that we're in is not for the faint-hearted. It's a
Yes.
constant call to courage. So really kind of be proud of yourself for all of your growth, all of your journey, all of the leaning into supervision. No, really be proud of yourself if you're able to.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Enjoy.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.